to introduce the next inductee, Mark Woodworth, class of '77.
Everybody, you know, when I have a bad day, I think of Ed Emmons. It just came to me as I was walking up here. But Ted, again, thanks for the opportunity to introduce my good friend, longtime friend, and good afternoon, Dean Walsh and my fellow hoteliers, friends, and others. Today we gather to celebrate not just a career, but to honor a legacy. It's my great privilege to introduce our next Hall of Fame inductee, Richard D. Rick Adie, class of '75. And by the way, I had a 5-page introduction. I shared it with my friend John Longstreet, and he says there's no way you can do that. So I've culled it down to hopefully my allotted timeline. Where is the clock, by the way? Oh, right there. Okay, good. Okay. Perhaps the best way to understand Rick and how he became the person that he is today is to examine the origins of where did the name Adie come from. It's not that popular name. In fact, he's the only Adie that I've ever met. So the name Adie is most commonly a diminutive of Adelaide, or occasionally Adrian. Adelaide is of German origin and is derived from the elements of edel, meaning noble, and heid, meaning kind or type, thus signifying a noble kind or nobility. So at that point, I had to reboot my computer because that can't be Rick. But we came back again. I do need to share the story when I first met Rick, and I had been on campus for about a week back in the fall of 1973, and I was fortunate to get a job at the Statler front desk. And that's when I met Rick, and there were the two of us that were working that day. And part of his responsibility, because he was a couple years ahead of me, was to show me how to use the NCR 4200 machine. Now, Rick, one of the first things he said to me, he said, you know, there's a lot of numbers involved with this job, and there's 3 types of people that work with numbers: those that can count and those that can't. So I kind of thought, did I hear him correctly? But it's not easy to see, but I suspect a number of you know Mr. Adie's humor, which I've really appreciated over the years. So back in the day at the Statler Inn, we had what was called the incident book. Rick, you might not remember this, but so the purpose of the incident book was that if something happened during your shift, you would make note of it. So like someone didn't pay when they checked out or whatever. So I was there one day just looking through the incident book to see what happened when I wasn't around, and there's this entry, and it said 4:15 p.m. I forget what day it was, but Pigeon came into the Statler lobby. Didn't have a reservation, so I called Campus Life Safety to have them remove it. So that was another highlight, Rick, that you left on me over the years. So Rick had 27 terrific years at Hyatt, reaching the highest levels of that organization, including managing their largest hotel in Chicago. He did come back, as we heard earlier, to Cornell in 2002 as managing director of the Statler. But what a terrific capstone to a terrific career. And within that, and I suspect there's a number of beneficiaries of this, he did create the Hotel Leadership Development Program, or HLDP, which has done wonders for many, many people. Rick's impact is measured not just in awards or titles, but in the lives that he's touched, the students he's mentored, the colleagues he's inspired, and the alumni he continues to connect with. I would be remiss to not mention Mary Adie, who I've considered to be a friend for a very long time, and has been Rick's partners for the last, I believe, 44 years. So together they have made a significant impact on the various communities that they've served all around the country. So today we celebrate Rick not just as a Hall of Fame inductee, but as a fellow alum who embodies the very best. Please join me in welcoming Rick to the stage.
This is your frying pan.
Thank you, Mark, for your very kind comments. I didn't know you could be that kind. John as well. I have such admiration for John Sharp over the years, and it was an honor to come back to Statler. So, to start, I have a few shout-outs and introductions I'd like to make. Ted, your unwavering commitment to the Hall of Fame is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. And I extend my heartfelt thanks to the selection committee for your continued contribution. I wrote down here that you're entitled to one mistake, but now after Ed spoke, I realize it's two. So, and to my fellow inductees, congratulations on your well-deserved recognition. I'm truly humbled to stand among such hotelly giants. I'd like to acknowledge my wife, Mary, who many of you know. Being the spouse of a general manager is no small task. It involved moving every 18 months, dressing up for a black tie event one night, and then being called the next morning to help clean rooms during a staffing crisis. You've shared challenges of fires, floods, hurricanes, and earthquakes, mostly with good humor. Thank you, Mary, for standing by me through this wild journey. I also want to introduce our hotelly daughter, Kate, class of 13, and her husband, Dylan Clemens, Arts and Sciences 14. Kate was on the 87th board of Hotel Ezra Cornell. She was a member of the Hotel Leadership Development Program, and she discovered her passion for training at the Statler Hotel. She now works for the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston, focusing on leader and management development. Given my time constraints, I had planned to walk through my 12 moves in 27 years with Hyatt, but Ted said no. So instead, I'd mention how fortunate I was to work with two hotelly icons of hospitality. My first general manager at Hyatt was Colgate Holmes, class of 56. We were in touch earlier this year when he was celebrating his 90th birthday. And also I had the opportunity to be able to work with the incredible Dick Nelson from the class of 56 at the Hyatt on Capitol Hill. So fast forwarding to 2002, David Butler presented me several goals when I returned to the Statler Hotel. He wanted to make the hotel relevant and complementary for the students to the quality of education that they were getting in the classroom from a wonderful faculty. I also saw this as an incredible opportunity to indoctrinate young professionals in my personal ideology, to embrace the values of humility, civility, integrity, servant leadership, professionalism, and community service. So we set out to build the Hotel Leadership Development Program. Well, some may call me the father of the program, or perhaps others may call me the grandfather of HLDP. It was due to the hard work and the contribution of many Statler hotel managers, faculty, industry supporters, and the students themselves. I'm grateful for the ongoing support that I received from Dean Johnson and Dean Walsh. The HLDP program, to me, is the experiential learning that was envisioned by Dean Meek and Dean Clark when they took the risk to build the Statler Inn and the Statler Hotel. Theory plus practice equals wisdom. Thank you to the many, many people in this room who contributed to the program's success. Whenever I reached out for help, the answer was always yes. Special thanks to Steve Weiss, Ed Evans, and Simon Turner for their very special help facilitating this needed support for the program. And in closing, thank you to the CHS for the inspiration and for the lifelong friendships that I've gained through my involvement. I feel so incredibly fortunate and privileged to have spent 21 years at Cornell and to be a hotelie for life. My heart is full of gratitude and pride. Thank you so much.